What's next for Mortal Kombat moving forward? This is something that's very important because we're talking near future. We got Evo already coming up literally this weekend, but I also want this video to have some value down the line because MK1 is in a position where although we got the definitive edition, they're not definitively done yet. So that's kind of weird. If you notice in my previous video, I did talk about Ed Boon saying that, I mean, a lot of people also talked about it where Ed Boon states that there might be a patch and even more, or at least it's most likely not the last patch. We don't know to what extent this patch is going to be for MK1. So we're going to kind of just do our own mini prediction of what's going to happen at Evo, kind of what's next for Mortal Kombat and everything like that. So let's get in. If you want to just get in the vibes, man, drop a comment below, help us out. It always is a vibe. So first things first, let's talk about near future, right? Evo coming around the corner. The first thing that's immediate we're looking at, we're going to get this right here, which is the MK Legacy Collection gameplay. It's going to be demoed. It's confirmed that it's going to be demoed by multiple, I think they also been doing the tour already where it has demoed this, I think 2 times so far. So people already getting their hands on this. I'm assuming just the same way like Street Fighter Collection is. I got my Street Fighter shirt on right now. I'm assuming it's the same way like the Capcom Fighting Collection, the Marvel vs. Capcom collections, where we get some netcode, we get online with the classic games, kind of like we're just playing the arcade all over again. So hopefully it all goes down that same way. But also in a weird way in the marketing, it also said and more. So first things first is that we're getting the Legacy Collection for sure. And then it also says and more. So Evo has a chance to do a few things with Mortal Kombat if NRS wants to do stuff there at Evo. I'm not saying they're announcing a brand new Mortal Kombat or a brand new Injustice or anything like that. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But I am going to say that they are definitely possibly looking into either announcing an additional game, because it says and more literally in their marketing for the Legacy Collection. So maybe we get, I don't know if they go far into like 3D, but we might possibly get like a trilogy announcement with it. Maybe I'll probably be wrong on that, or maybe some off type games. Maybe like I don't know, Shaolin Monks, that might be like its own type of remaster. So I don't know what the and more necessarily means. So that's a valid question of what's next, but I think we are getting more. If it's not announced at Evo, then maybe at the game showcase at the end of August. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking with that. Also, MK1 is going to get a patch. I believe that will be 100% announced at Evo, because that's what it's for the devoted players that have been playing Mortal Kombat 1 at this point. You either really like Mortal Kombat 1 at this point, or you just don't like it at all. And I don't necessarily always go by stream numbers. I just go by Steam aspects, who's playing on PC, who's playing on console, and just overall viewership on YouTube. Viewership on YouTube for Mortal Kombat is usually pretty solid around the, like across the board. Whatever Mortal Kombat it is, just the brand in general. And then also on PC, people really love a lot of it. Also, not necessarily MK1, but just people just play the games, like they play the older games also. And yeah, it just depends on how, when you see like Twitch viewership numbers though, live viewership, not a lot of people. TikTok, it's really popular on TikTok also. So it just depends on where you're at. I think with Mortal Kombat, depending on its essence and how they are in different countries, because it's kind of banned in different countries also. So yeah, just overall, all those are that. I don't know what we get for Legacy Collection. MK1 patch, I for sure is going to be announced. To how deep that patch will be. I mean, how much more are they going to change after announcing a definitive edition? So with multiple patches, we don't know. It could be slight patches, or it could be something that's really game breaking where we're like, whoa, what the heck? This is a whole new game now. Street Fighter V ended a lot better than when it started. I think Mortal Kombat could probably end a lot. I mean, it's already way better than when it launched, but it is Mortal Kombat 1 at this point. We all kind of know what we're getting when we sign up and we play that game for the few hours we want to play. At least I personally enjoy the game because I don't take myself too serious, even if I could play at a credible and a respectable level. Because I bounce around and I float around all the other fighting games too, so I'm not just stuck on this game. But if you're constantly really putting in work in Mortal Kombat 1, I think at this point you've already bounced around to like MK11 a little bit, maybe played some MKX, joined some fun custom lobbies in MK9, just to keep your MK, I wouldn't say copium, but just to really, I don't know, just it's a brand that's winning, right? We all want it to succeed, but I mean, we just got to figure that out, right? So that is that. Legacy Collection, MK1 Patch, I believe those two will be somewhat announced at EVO. If they're going to be adding games, I think they're going to announce that maybe at the gaming showcase. Then after that, that's the near future stuff. And then of course, in the middle, in between that for branding, as I was talking about branding earlier, we got the MK2 movie, which everybody was kind of hyped out. We already know what's going down. Great marketing when you have Carl Urban from, you know, at least famously known now for The Boys, from The Boys, for those that know. We got like the Gen V season 2 trailer coming around too. And so, yeah, if you really know The Boys universe, then you're excited for Carl Urban. At least to just be winning. You know he's going to deliver. I know he's going to deliver, even though it sometimes doesn't looks like he fits right. The dynamic of the story they're going for, and just him as an actor, it's gonna be just fine. Kano's coming back also, so MK2 the movie looks way better already than what we got in the first one. So that's another thing that's coming around with Mortal Kombat. Then on top of that, we're looking at, this is where I kind of question the longevity of what's going on next. I know developers, I know they're all in there kind of just trying to cook up something, right? They're like, okay, are we gonna do Injustice? Are we going to do Mortal Kombat next? That's a really, really difficult decision to have in that boardroom, I bet, because they had back-to-back MK games already, 11 and 1, which are both mixed bags. It's crazy because there's certain things from MK11 and certain things from MK1 you could have just put together, and that would have made the beautiful fusion of a game. But instead, MK11's hated for its like ripes, and then it also has a lot of great things in there. MK1's hated for a lot of things, but they also have a lot of things that they upgraded and brought back from classic type of 9 and X games. So it's tough to really be in that, probably those meetings right now, as if what IP they want to use, Injustice or Mortal Kombat, this upcoming game, which will probably be like another 2 years for an announcement, or a year and a half or something. It's still too early for a brand new game announcement, but still, this is just kind of our predictions and what we feel what's next for Mortal Kombat. They had back-to-back Mortal Kombats already. They brought the movie. This Legacy Collection could be that in-between filler, which Capcom does really great when it comes down to their filler type content. This is also amazing, but Injustice, you got Marvel Tokon coming around. You got 2XKO that's coming around that's free to play. A couple of other things that are going to be going down. Street Fighter is like at its best ever, possibly grasping the most casual audience that a fighting game has ever done in a long time, since literally like the 90s, since literally this game, Street Fighter 2. So yeah, Street Fighter's doing amazing right now. Fatal Fury, what we hoped could have been amazing, went too mainstream with the marketing with Ronaldo and all that. So what IP they pull out next, it just depends on what, because Mortal Kombat, a brand's always going to win overall, hence the movie, hence all these old school ones to bring in more revenue. But when you really think about it, like when you got Marvel Tokon coming around, maybe they might want to tap into that Injustice superhero-esque again, with DC really trying to get a lot better now. You also got the Peacemaker season going down. You also got just that new Superman that was doing, you know, legit now. So you got a lot of things that are really with Gunn over there kind of working around with those movies, and that brand is going to get a lot better now, especially since they've revitalized everything. Like everything's really on a fresh plate, a fresh platter once again. So it could be a good decision to maybe try to bring that next Injustice game, just to bring casuals on board to who you are and who you are as an identity as a fighting game, to know that eventually people are like, oh, these are the guys that make Mortal Kombat. But that's just a superior casual standpoint. With the other side of it, it's, do you want to make a third Mortal Kombat in a row that's not really hitting the way we would want to hit? So it really is hard. If you're gonna make a game that's not really gonna hit the way your core audience would want it to hit, it would be better to just take the chance on Injustice, in my opinion, versus doing that again for Mortal Kombat and just getting the Mortal Kombat core fan base pissed off again, right? So with 11 pissed off, which oddly sold the most units ever in Mortal Kombat history. A lot of it because it's coming from X. Mortal Kombat X, the best competitive game. Mortal Kombat 9, the best. The way they did 9 to X is insane. It's rare that you get like sequels that are just even better. 9 was the best casual game ever come back, possibly in gaming history, not just fighting games. Then you have X, where X is the best competitive fighting game in Mortal Kombat history, in my opinion. Then you got 11 that sold the most units in history, probably the best customization ever. And then on top of that, the gameplay wasn't really well, but it sold so much because those games were so good. It's like, oh, 9 was amazing, God tier. X, God tier. And then 11 came around, you're like, what the heck? But then when you see Mortal Kombat 1, we're like, oh, wait, 11 was pretty good after all. Hold on real quick. Oh, 11 was really, hold on, come back over here, 11. Some people are still playing 11 at this point, streaming it still. So that happens. It just depends on what will bring the casuals a lot more, to be honest, in my opinion. And I feel that I would say maybe Injustice is maybe their route next. Because a lot of the superhero movies are getting, you know, it's a lot of it thought it was superhero fatigue, like that we were already burnt out. But some of them are getting real good again, with especially when you have the Marvel side doing their thing. DC really kind of refreshed themselves and doing it like from the ground up all over again. It might be interesting to see if they do bring Injustice this time around. But again, that's a long time, which is why I wanted to make this, because I wanted to talk about the near future Mortal Kombat, and then I also wanted to talk about this longevity component of Mortal Kombat. But yeah, that's kind of just my thoughts, and I really wanted to say that because I really enjoy it. You know, this was just a whole yap fest at the end of the day, but I like to vibe out with you all, and I think Mortal Kombat should at least think about if they're going to release another one again, just because back-to-back games were just really flawed. But they honed great things. It's just we needed those two things to really compel to the great game that we wanted. But back-to-back games where it's like a 50-50, where it's like, not 50-50 mix-ups in terms of the fighting, but 50-50 in terms of like, I either really like it or I really hate it. I really like it or I really hate it. You know, that type of audience where that's not what Mortal Kombat is. Mortal Kombat is the most casual of the quote-unquote big three, in which they're not even big three right now because their EVO competitive numbers are really low right now. And we know, it's just that we know Mortal Kombat can do better, and we expect better out of them, which is a great compliment. So I don't see why they don't want to live up to that aspect. I hope they do, but if they do decide to do another Mortal Kombat, you have to bring back like a legit amount of the gameplay that we loved in 9 and X. But, or maybe even bring in like that one aspect, but just take away cameos and really patch it up. Or bring a 1v1 in the MK1 patch. I don't know. That could be a near future thing, right? A lot of great things. It's going to be really interesting, but at least they have a lot of immediate stuff for Mortal Kombat fans in general. With the Mortal Kombat movie, you're going to have a lot of cosplay, so their brand is going to stay alive. You're going to have this legacy collection and possibly more games added. Maybe later down the line even add more stuff, and they might just launch with these. And then you have MK1 patches that'll be here and there that they kind of like trickle in. So that's a couple of good things that I feel might be legit. But yeah, y'all let me know what's up, what y'all's thoughts. I just kind of wanted to yap about it today because Mortal Kombat is incredible and I love it and I want it to succeed. It's just sometimes it's in a bind right now. It's kind of like the Call of Duty of fighting games right now, and how they're performing, how they're delivering, how there's not really too much communication with the community, but the community continuously like makes it thrive because we know this as a brand is iconic. We want it to be iconic, still be the big three, especially in fighting games, right? I appreciate y'all. Y'all let me know what's good. Peace.